A safe and wonderful morning, dear grade 7 students. Welcome to another fun learning engagement. I am Michelle, and today, let us discover the importance of understanding literature. This is Valenzuela Live English 7. Before we begin our learning journey, please be reminded of the following netiquettes.
Rules to observe during the live streaming class. Respect everyone. Be polite to everyone, especially when giving comment. No hate speech. Do not express hate or violence to someone during live streaming. Observe the anti-cyberbullying law. Any kind of bullying is not allowed. No promotion of products or items. Selling of products, self-promotion, and unrelated link are not allowed. The live streaming is intended for learning only and not for business purposes.
Are you now ready, learners? Well, if yes, can you click the heart emoji? That's great. For today, we will be focusing on this most essential learning competency. Discover through Philippine literature the need to work cooperatively and responsibly in today's global village. Specifically, we will identify the author's intention for writing. We will explain how a selection may be influenced by culture, history, environment, or other factors. Let us now check how much familiar you are about our literature. Here is your first task entitled Thumbs Up or Thumbs Down. Give a thumbs up if you think the statement about literature is true and thumbs down if it's false. Here's number 1. Our literature is based on oral traditions or folklore. If you answered thumbs up, you're doing great. Number 2. Philippine literature was influenced by the church and by the literature of Spanish and American. If you hit thumbs up, you're correct. Here's number 3. All the Filipino people became educated in the mid-19th century. If you answered thumbs down, you're fantastic. During the next century, or during the 19th century in the Philippines, being part of the Spanish period, education is limited only to Filipinos belonging from the upper class, meaning education is not for all. Number 4. Writing in Japanese language became more common in the late 1930s and during the Japanese occupation. If you answered thumbs down, you're definitely correct. Japanese literature started In the 1941 in the Philippines and lasted until 1945. Here's number 5. The Prince of Tagalog poets, Francisco Baltazar, wrote the famous epic Ibong Adarna in the 17th century. If you answered thumbs down, you're doing great. It was Jose de la Cruz, also known as Jose Enciso, a famous writer during the Spanish colonization, wrote Ibong Adarna. Did you get a perfect score, learners? If yes, it means that you have a wide background about our literature. But if you did not get a passing score, don't be sad, for you are still doing good as your effort in giving the correct answer is highly appreciated. So, good job for everyone. Let us now find out why do we need to learn our country's literature. Here are some importance of studying literature. Number 1, to better appreciate our literary heritage. We cannot appreciate something that we do not understand. By studying our literature, we can trace the rich heritage of ideas handed down to us from our forefathers. Number 2, to know the history of our nation's spirit and to take pride in being a Filipino. In order to understand the real spirit of a nation, one must trace the little streamlets as they course along down the ages, broadening and deepening into the great ocean of thought which men of the present day are currently exploring. Understanding our roots or our rich culture through literature helps us understand or solve our problems and become better. Number 3, to carry marks of our nation towards globalization and collaboration. The term globalization refers to the connection of the different parts of the world. Our global mindset was a result of the expansion of international, cultural, economic, and political activities. These things can be attributed to tourism and the rise in the utilization of the different social media platforms. One of the best ways in doing our share to support literacy in the country. In this way, it would be easier for us to communicate and trade with the countries around the world. Constant interaction with countries from the different parts of the globe establish the global village. With this, our own literature should no longer be confined in our own country. Philippine literature must be introduced and made known to the world. We should learn to facilitate the exchange of ideas among our counterparts. Now, let us have your second task entitled Heart the Help. Hit the heart emoji if the statement expresses help to understand Philippine literature and hit the sad emoji if it's not. Here's number 1. Knowing our culture is important in understanding our literature. If you key in a heart emoji, you're correct. Number 2. It doesn't matter if you only knew a little about our history. If you answered a sad emoji, you're doing good. Remember, the more you know about our literature, the more you can understand your identity which will lead you to take pride as a Filipino. Now, here's number 3. Observe the existing religion, beliefs, ethnic, or indigenous groups. If you answered a heart emoji, you're definitely correct. Number 4. Be familiar with the setting of the story by using road or political maps. If you answered a heart emoji, you're awesome. Here's the last number. Master your own language for better understanding of the text and the key concepts that it presents. If you answered a heart emoji, you're great. Did you get a perfect score? Wow, you're indeed fantastic. Remember, learners, that for Philippine literature to carry a mark in globalization, we should learn to facilitate the exchange of ideas with other countries. And this also requires 21st century skills, which refers to core competencies such as collaboration, digital literacy, critical thinking, and problem solving. We must also have the knowledge about the different modern and traditional forms of literature such as myth. It is a traditional story, especially one concerning the early history of people or explaining some natural or social phenomenon and typically involving supernatural beings or events. We also have legend, a traditional story that's sometimes popularly regarded as historical but unauthenticated. For the modern form of literature, we have Wattpad, an ebook reading application. We also have hypertext poetry and hypertext fiction. These are literature that uses computer screen as a medium rather than printed page. And finally, we also have blog or weblog. It is an online journal or informational website displaying information in the reverse chronological order with latest posts appearing first. Aside from learning the forms of literature, we must also be familiar of the intentions of the author in writing so we can fully understand and appreciate the text we are reading. The author's purpose was discussed in your previous lesson. So now, let us see how much do you remember. Let's have your third task. It's entitled Figure the Intention. Identify the author's intention in writing in each text. Write in inform, persuade, or entertain. Here's number 1. Do you owe more money than you are making? Do you have lots of different debts? It's quick and easy to apply, and you can get the money within just 2 days. Yes, that's right, 2 days. So why waste time? So if you want to clear your debts, make home improvements, go on a holiday, or just buy something you've always wanted, apply for a credit card and call us now on 0900-8952369. If you answered persuade, you're definitely correct. Number 2. Everyone was in a state of high excitement. All the women in light cotton saris, worn specially for the occasion, now clambering over the side, screaming with the boat rocked and clutching each other in pleasurable panic. If you answered entertain, you're correct. And now here's the last number. The city of Valenzuela is stranded between the border of Metro Manila and its nearby province, Bulacan. For its residents, this means having the best of both worlds, city living and the opportunities that come with it, while having an easy escape from the bright lights with the rural Bulacan just stone's throw away. Before it became a city, Valenzuela was formerly part of Bulacan. If you answered inform, you got it right. Great job, learners! Remember, author's purpose is the intention or the reason of an author for writing about a topic. Inferring the purpose of the author or the speaker is based on the overall idea of the piece. To easily remember the author's purpose, let's keep in mind the acronym PI. P for persuade, I for inform, and E for entertain. To persuade means to convince the readers to agree or disagree with the author's point of view or opinion on a subject. Authors with this purpose may give facts, but their main goal is to argue or prove a point to readers. The author or the speaker tries to get you to do something or believe what he is saying. Example of this are advertisement, just like in your previous activity, billboards, commercials, opinions, or reviews. To inform means to give factual and valid information about a subject. Authors with this purpose wish to provide facts that will explain or teach something to the readers. Example of this are encyclopedia, science and social studies textbooks, and biographies. To entertain means to amuse and delight the reader's appeal to the reader's senses and imagination. Authors with this purpose set out to captivate our interest in the audience, just like your example in your activity in number 2. Examples of this are short stories, novels, legends, and poems. We are almost done with our learning journey for today. At this point, I'm giving you 2 minutes to key in some questions about our topic for today, and I will be glad to answer them in a short while. Let us now see questions captured by our moderator. First question is from Venteriales National High School. How can studying Philippine literature help in working collaboratively with different countries? Again, as was mentioned earlier, if we study Philippine literature, we can understand our culture and our beginning. Accordingly, it can help us in other country understand our differences, creating a better communication. Second question is from Malanday National High School. Aside from to persuade, to inform, and to entertain, are there any other author's intention for writing? Well, a writer may have one specific purpose in mind other than to inform, to entertain, or to persuade. But these three are the general and these are their specific purpose. Under to persuade, an author may have the purpose of to argue, to convince, or to criticize. Under to inform, the author's intention could be to analyze, to clarify, or to explain. And under to entertain, the author's intention could be to amuse, to delight, or to frighten. Let's now have question number 3 from Gente de Leon National High School. How can we easily identify the intention of the author in writing? Well, in order to easily know the author's intention in writing, we must read very carefully and understand the overall idea presented in the text that we are reading. And that ends our question and answer portion for today. As much as I want to answer your queries, we do not have enough time. So for other inquiries and activities about our topic, your respective English teacher will surely have supplementary discussion with you during your class. And that ends our engagement for today. See you in our next learning journey. I am Michelle, and this is Valenzuela Live English 7.